This episode, you just get me, and we figure out how I got this thing so dirty. So strap in, and welcome to the Race Pace.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Race Pace. This one's going to be a little different. We had a scheduling conflict. The person who was supposed to be on had to cancel. And I understand that. Things happen, things come up. So, trying to come up with a new something that's going to go on. This is what I got for now. You can tell it is wet, it is muddy. I'm driving the Acre Shaker back through part of my XC course to get to the short course, because what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how I read and how I analyze a track. And yes, I do know this track, but this works for basically the way I do it. It works for any track. It's the way I look at them. Normally within a lap or so you can kind of get set in your mind how you need to approach each corner, and how you have to read that track to be able to run, we'll say, reasonably fast on the track. So, as you can see, it is muddy. I don't think I'm going to do any fast laps here, but I can't promise that we won't get some spirited driving in right at the end once everything's done. I'm hoping the rain holds off long enough that we can get this done too. So, let's see where to start. Let me back up here, and we'll start from where the first corner is, from like where the start area is on my short course. Look at the mud fling. Oh, it's gonna be nasty out here. So my short course, I'll give you a little bit of information. We just did a Facebook Live on it yesterday. It's about a half mile, a little over a half mile actually is what it is. I'm trying to avoid the mud puddles as I'm backing up. It's a little over a half mile long. It is no jumps in it right now. It probably will have some eventually, but for now, does not. So this is basically where you start. Somewhere in this, we don't have a real defined starting spot. And what you do is, this is wide enough for a couple cars to run, but you can't get too many on at once. So, obviously you would normally be full bore right into the first corner. As you can see, that first corner is leaning a little bit out. It is an off-camber corner, but it's not horrible. So for this one, I would usually start braking and be, by the time I make my turn, which is basically here where the corner starts, I should be down to my speed. In theory, I would coast. Right here is the apex. Now this would be done at, this is probably a 30 mile an hour corner still. I would coast to the apex and be on the gas and probably sliding still all the way up and through here and start to straighten out. This part of the course is a little deceiving because you're seeing it too right now. It looks like the second curve is right there, but it's actually a crest of a small hill. It's not a big hill at all, but you can't see the other side. And because of the way it's cresting and turning, and it's a ever tightening radius turn, right here where we're sitting right now looks like it's the tightest spot and where you would start your turn in, but it's actually not. And if you start your turn in there, you're going to be way early, and even I have trouble with this corner still. I've only had this short course set up this year, but I still want to brake early on this one for some reason, when in reality right about here is where you want to be at your slowest speed. Start into your slide. Right here is the apex of that corner, and then you're going to come out of it. This corner you can run a little wide and start moving. Also, that last corner is an extreme off camber, so you will slide wide you're better off to kind of hook one tire on the inside as much as you can and let it ride up that bank and then use that for traction. This one is always a wet corner. This is a full 180. There's nothing super tricky about this corner other than coming in slow enough that you can still exit decent, or not coming in so slow that you just square it off totally. We did this section of the track right here kind of, I wanted to not just give them a straightaway, anybody a straightaway. And you can see it's kind of an S. It goes back one way and then in another. And we did that so you couldn't really see the next corner all that well, especially once the grass gets full height. Oh, I'm getting mud slung up in the back of my neck. So that you couldn't see the full corner. You didn't know what was really going on. I don't want the track to be super easy. I don't want it to be difficult. I want people to put down good times. But, yeah, that way you can't see it. This is another 180, and this is a corner that you can overcook very easily, because as you're coming to it, this is probably one of the faster spots on the track. Right before I enter this corner, I'm normally touching about 62 to 64 mile an hour. And while this corner is not off camber or anything, the second half of this corner right here, it'll want to slide you down because you're all of a sudden going downhill. You were uphill, and the apex of that corner is on the top of the hill is what it is. I'll try and get in the grass. So once you get around the apex of that corner, you're suddenly going downhill, so it changes how you need to slide into it and how you need to slide through it. So this course, I've actually divided up into a few sections. You'll see to the left is one part, and that keeps you on this section of it. That'll cut it down by not quite half, but close to it. And that just turns right back towards the start line. If you go right, which is where the full short course track goes, right through here, and you can tell it's wet. That's a softer spot, and you can pretty much be flat out through there. You'll have to let off a little to make the initial turn in. This portion of the short course it's not bad. It's not high speed. You're just going to be back and forth, and basically you just put it in a slide and start sliding both directions. First to the left, and then now we would be sliding back to the right. This is all normally pretty well groomed, although it's a mess right now. This portion here is a 180, pretty wide turn, honestly. You can kind of just mat it and get around the corner as much as you can. And once you get here and straightened out, you just kind of get going. You come down through this part and you really can't see where you're going to go. I don't have any arrows or anything up like that. And once you get here, I don't know how well the camera is going to show the angle. You start taking this corner and you are all out on the way back. This is the start line. This is where we started. I mean, let's be honest, guys, I'm already muddy. The Razor's already muddy. I think we should take a faster lap. So here's what's going on, guys. That first lap, as soon as I took off, what I didn't know was I was in two-wheel drive, and I was all over the place. And the other thing is, as soon as I took off, mud got up on the camera. So we're gonna hope that this time around I can get one full lap in and I can talk you guys through what I'm doing. As you can see, I made a couple laps. The Razor is weighted down with mud. It's slick out here, so we're gonna try and get through a lap. Hopefully nothing gets on the camera and we can get through this. So here we go. We're gonna do a spirited lap. On the brakes right at the crest of the hill. Rotate. On the brakes hard and get it to rotate around this corner. Still able to touch about 61 right there. Rotate around this one. This is the one that wants to spin you out as you come over that crest. Rotate into that, flat out across, and on the brakes. This section has a little bit more bite. There's some more grass in it. And this is a flat. Hard on the brakes. Turn in. This is a straightaway. We're back to the start. Hard on. Rotate at the apex on the gas. At the hill, brake hard. Let it rotate around a little bit. Slide. Try and work that throttle because it's so slick. On the brakes again. A lot of these corners are blind. That's what kind of how we made the course. So you have to drive them a little better. And that one was wanting to rotate me. I was full lock to try and keep it from going around. I came in a little hot on that for the conditions. I have a dirt ball behind my back in the seat. Alright, there we put down a couple laps. So I want to say a big thank you to all of our sponsors. First of all, CW Motorsports, thank you for long-time support. They've done all kinds of stuff. You guys need rebuilt engines, transmissions, anything like that, differentials, get a hold of them. Good people. Also want to thank Watch Communications. They host the website and the podcast. And if you need rural internet access in the Illinois, Indiana area, they can hook you up. Get with them. I forget their website and my brain's not working. Watch Communications, look them up. Also Spanx Fab, if you guys need rock sliders, bumpers, tree kickers, anything like that, that's definitely the guys to get a hold of in that scenario. And 834 Powder Coat, if you guys are looking for any kind of powder coating in the Terre Haute, Indiana, Illinois area, they're really good. They will take care of you. Oh, that's mud. And yeah, they also do Cerakote for guns and such. So that's what I got. Hopefully this video came out better, because honestly I am covered in mud right now, and I don't think it's gonna get any better if I go run another lap to try and get the video. So that's what I got right now. You guys, literally, thank you for riding along with me today. Have a good one, and we'll catch you on the next go round.